So hello YouTubers, like you know, my name is Kodichupu Okonkwo and this is Techloom. And today I want to talk about something that has really been bothering me for a while, and that is the picture quality and the image quality we get from, or I get from shooting videos. And that has to do with the 10 reasons why I switched to Canon M50. Okay, so previously in my video shoot on this channel, I was using a Nikon D5200. In those days, I didn't know much about cameras. I always felt that any camera that looks huge could give me best picture quality. Yes, it wasn't all wrong, but I went to the shop and bought a camera that was huge, and that was the D5200 in 2017, and I was using it to film my YouTube videos. But along the way, I saw so many downsides, and I was really discouraged from making videos. So if you go back to my YouTube videos since 2017, you will see that there was a point where I stopped. And that was because I had a camera that had a terrible autofocus. Sometimes I would shoot a video, and at the end of the day, during editing, I find out that I am not even in focus. Yes, you could say, yes, there's a viewfinder on the side to show me what I'm filming, but the viewfinder is not clear enough to tell you exactly what you look like in the video. So sometimes I'm lucky, I will shoot the entire video and the video will look very good without me being out of focus. But at a point, I got tired of shooting and I'm not in focus. Although I tried to listen to some YouTubers who use D5200, where I got some tips that helped me to shoot a little more videos. But at a point, I started researching on a better camera that can give me a better video quality or better picture quality. That was when I actually found that I can actually use my phone to do a quality video just by adding more lights. So I started investing in buying lights, and I got some lights, then used my mobile phone, my Android phone, to make some videos, which were kind of satisfactory, not very satisfactory. Then, on trying to upgrade more, someone suggested I should get a Samsung phone, that they have good cameras, and that was why when I got the Samsung Note 10 Plus, which I'm using right now to film. And yes, I got some quality out of it, and I'm very satisfied with it. But looking forward, I needed something that could give me some blurry background and some perfect autofocus, something that, because with the Samsung Note 10 Plus, the focus is not very sharp. It's not like when you use a camera like the M50 to shoot. So I decided to invest in the Canon M50. Yes, I was actually working on budget. So the price of M50 was actually out of my range or out of my budget, because we have a terrible exchange rate. Our exchange rate in Nigeria was really getting worse. So that was when it was getting so far out of reach for me. So, but eventually I was able to get a used M50, which actually solved my problem. And today I want to talk about 10 things that made me to switch to Canon M50, Canon EOS M50. This camera is not actually exactly the camera that I want for my YouTube videos. I'm thinking about the Sony series, Sony Alpha 7C and the rest of them, which is where I'm going before we start talking about the red cameras and the Blackmagic cameras. Yes, those are where I'm actually going. But now, at my stage as a YouTuber, having other responsibilities, this is not the only thing I do. So I have to be on budget in this case. So I actually switched to an M50. So today I'm going to talk about the 10 things that made me switch to Canon M50. So number one is autofocus. Yes, autofocus is the main reason why I switched to Canon M50. So this camera you're looking at gave me an autofocus that was so unbelievable. Like, if you have used D5200 and seen the terrible autofocus that camera has, yes, the camera is here. I can show you. This is the D5200, and the autofocus, I must tell you, is terrible for videos. Yes, the camera is nice for pictures, and I've used it to, my wedding pictures was taken with this camera and it was beautiful. Like, you need to see them. But with videos, autofocus is terrible. So most times I had to kind of position it, go back and check if I was actually in focus. Sometimes I had to connect my computer to find out if I was actually in focus before I even set it up again and mark the floor and start shooting. So it was a lot of stress. It makes making one video was taking a lot of time. So I got discouraged using the D5200 Nikon camera and that is the reason why I switched. Autofocus is just perfect. It's just what I need. Yes, it's not as fast as some of them I've seen on YouTube reviewed by the Sony cameras and so on, but the fact that it has a flip-out screen, at least to show me if I'm in frame when I'm shooting the video, then of course I trust that the autofocus was going to work right. Okay, so the second reason why I decided to switch to Canon M50 is because it is portable. You can see I can actually hold it, so it's so small. Okay, comparing it with my D5200, you can see one giant and one small camera looking at you there. So actually, being portable was an advantage for me with the Canon M50. So at least I'm able to put it in a very tight corner and all those things. So I didn't need like a huge bag to store or keep it safe and stuff like that. So the next reason why I actually got this camera is the picture quality. Like, you know, this Canon M50 is actually a mirrorless camera, and because it's a mirrorless camera, the picture quality is much better than the mirror camera, which is the D5200, which I was using before. So I don't think that one is contestable, you know, and that was one of the reasons why I got this. At least the picture quality is a little bit far away from my smartphones that I used before. So that was one of the reasons. And the other reason is it is very, very, very light. Very, very light. It's so lightweight that you don't have to stress yourself. You're not afraid it might fall and break and things like that. You hold it and it's just there with you. Then the other reason why I switched to the Canon M50 is the fact that it has a decent kit lens. Yes, I've heard so many things like, you know, vlogging with the kit lens does not really make a lot of sense. You know, some people are arguing that it's better you change the lens to something like a prime lens, which was what I was told when I was using my Nikon D5200. I bought one of the lenses that was 35mm lens. So in this case, this one comes with 15 to 45mm lens, and I think it's sufficient so far for what I need. Yes, I'm not really getting the real blurry background, but the background I'm getting so far is good enough for me, and I don't think I need anything more. So the kit lens is actually decent, and whatever you get from it is not bad at all. So it's a kit lens you can just start your YouTube videos with, and you'll be fine. Okay. Then another thing is that it is easy to set up. Now I can just place it on my tripod. I can just place this Canon M50 on my tripod, and I am sure that I don't need to, mark the floor, go and sit down and watch where I'm framed at and stuff like that. That used to take me up to 30 minutes with my former camera, the Nikon D5200. So it's actually easy for me to set up, and before you know it, I'm done with my videos, because I'm sure I was never going to be out of focus. Okay, so the next reason why I like this camera is the fact that it shoots 4K. The 4K has a problem with of autofocus. Like, there are so many tons of videos I've watched that explain the reason why the 4K shooting is actually problematic, and those reasons are justified. So the 4K here is not really my thing, because I can always use my Samsung Note 10 Plus to shoot 4K, and it's very nice with 4K. But of course, I'm not going to get the same feel as using a DSLR camera like this. Okay, so shooting 4K was an advantage, but maybe I'll use it the way I used to use my D5200. Okay, so the next one is that it was budget friendly. Actually, this camera didn't kill me with the cost. I bought this one used, and buying it used means it's almost like 3/4 the price. So 3/4 the price is bearable for me. So it's not half the price, because it's a relatively new camera. I think this camera came out like 2-3 years ago. So, but its budget, it's not like the mainframe cameras where you have to spend so much to buy. So it's a budget camera, and it gives a very decent video. So that's okay for me. So the budget camera, being on the budget side, is a plus for me. It's one of the reasons why I switched to Canon M50. So the next thing again is that, surprisingly, it has good audio. Now, I'm not relying on the audio I get from the M50 for my videos. I'm not relying on them, but the truth is that you need a decent audio from your camera to be able to, as a backup, because sometimes you might set up your audio and you don't know that your audio is not working. And at the end of the day, you might rely on the one on your cameras. Most times, I just extract it and I'll copy it, then go to another audio or editing software, then clean it up and bring it back. So it's quite decent. It's quite kind of loud or good enough for you to use for your video. You can actually use it out of the box and shoot your video, and you'll be quite audible in your video. So it's actually came with a better audio. Of course, the audio used to kind of capture the echo of your house or something like that. So, but decent audio actually. So the next one is the fact that it has interchangeable lenses. The lens is interchangeable. I can remove this lens and put another lens and use it for other uses. And it also has an adapter you can buy and fix, and you can use other Canon lenses, older lenses, and it will work just fine. So it's kind of versatile for me, and that's a plus to the M50. Yes, at least while I'm just comparing it to my smartphone, which I'm actually using to film right now. You can't add a lens to your smartphone, cry that loud. Okay, so the next thing is that the flip out screen is actually touch screen. It's a touch screen. unlike the D5200, which I used before, you can't use, it's not touch screen. But this one is touch screen, and you can do many of your settings on this touch screen, especially the ones you need to do quickly. So the touch screen is an advantage, and one of the reasons why I went or switched to Canon M50. So I don't know if you are skeptical about getting a Canon M50, but I can assure you that you will not be regretting it when you get, especially if you've been using your smartphone to shoot your videos. You can always switch to a Canon M50 and you will not be disappointed. You will get, the best thing about this camera is the autofocus, and the autofocus is something that you cannot do without shooting videos, because you really need to be in focus for your audience to be able to focus on you and listen to you and be able to get the message you're trying to pass across. So the Canon M50 is not a camera that you can just look away from. It's a camera that can actually upgrade your YouTube video shooting gears. So I hope I've been able to say enough about the reason why I switched to Canon M50. It's not a perfect camera, but it's decent enough for you to do a very wonderful YouTube video. Okay, so thank you for sticking around with me. I don't know how the picture quality of this video is going to be, but I'm sure you got the message, because I wish I was using the Canon M50 to shoot this video, but you won't be able to see it if I was using it to shoot the video. So I have to use the phone to shoot and show you the camera itself. Sorry, I'm not here to show you the functions and every other thing about the camera, but I'm just here to tell you why I decided to switch to this beautiful camera. Okay, so thank you again for sticking with us. Thank you again for coming back to TechLoop. And if you've not been here before, if you've not been watching us, please do subscribe so that any video we are going to release, you're going to be one of the first to see it. Okay, so hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, and also expect more videos. So see you in the next one. Peace.